tonight, Johnny Tapia looks to take his second step in his It's Johnny Tapia back in action once again against Arturo Estrada. You're looking inside the beautiful Kiva Auditorium in a magnificent convention center complex in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where local fans are ready to raise the roof for a one-time hometown hero. Hi, everyone, and welcome once again to another exciting night of Prime Championship Boxing. I'm Rich Marat, and we think we have a very intriguing card for you tonight, headed by our main event, which features Johnny Tapia, who's really going up against two opponents. First of all, he feels he is beating the one opponent, Drugs, and tonight he has to beat an opponent in the ring, and that's Arturo Estrada. Working alongside me tonight as our ringside commentator will be the trainer of world champions, who's added another one to his long list, and that's Rafael Ruelas. Congratulations on that. Joe Goosen, the always well-coiffed Joe Goosen, of course.
Take pride in that.
Yes, Joe. Let's talk a little bit about Johnny Tapia tonight, because this is a guy in an all too familiar kind of scenario in sports.
It certainly is, and we're not just relegating this to boxing. It's baseball, football, basketball, and it really is an all too familiar story. Hopefully Johnny's beaten this problem he had. It's been a 3.5-year living hell for him, from what I understand. And he looked awful good in his return to the ring last month. So I expect to see good things about him. He has all the tools to become champion. A lot of people thought he was going to be back in '88 when he turned pro. So let's see what happens from here on.
All right, let's talk about Tapia inside the ring. We know it's outside the ring story, but inside the ring, what kind of style can we expect from him tonight?
He's got a beautiful style, Rich. I mean, he's really a prototypical fighter. Throws a lot of combinations. You know, is always busy. Punches with power. He's big for a bantamweight. Junior bantamweight, they have him listed here, but he's about 115 pounds now, and he can really whack, and he's a very, very busy fighter. You see him here against Olvera here. This is his last fight, and boom, good left hand, 3 left hands in a row and a right hand. Those are the type of left hands you like to see come from a fighter. That's world-class stuff.
He had not fought for 38 months before that fight, but emerged with the 4th round KO. Now tonight he takes on Arturo Estrada, a veteran who's been kind of up and down.
Exactly, and Estrada, of course, isn't your typical Mexican brawler. What he likes to do, as we see here with Jose Luis Bueno, he can box a little bit, he can move a little bit. He's not a big puncher, lacks a little defense, but he's all around a pretty durable fighter.
Let's go with Johnny Tapia. Johnny Tapia! Johnny Tapia, let's get on deck here. What'd you get in, John? Yeah, that way you don't. How's it going, Johnny?
Hi, John. The reason why we're here at this time because the promoter called us and told us to be here at 4. That's what the promoter called. Said that these people.
Who's the promoter?
Rudy. Called us at the gym.
Rudy? We'll have executive session after the ceremony.
In fact, we're 15 minutes early.
So, Johnny, we'll get Johnny on right. We went and started doing the weights, but we'll get him right away.
No problem.
And who else is working with
Oliver. You'll have to get him.
Oh, they're all killed.
I was just over there, and that place was a nightmare.
How was it?
It's a mess. They didn't have the cameras. They didn't have the room at the table, so they had equipment at the table.
Yeah, go ahead, Johnny.
You got Johnny in the contract, right?
Yes. It's in my release. No problem. Okay, turn and look at me, John. That's right. You can look at me. I'm not that ugly.
The hell you ain't. You haven't talked to your wife lately. Still moving.
How far is the drive though?
It's for TV. It's the second time.
The babyface assassin, Johnny Tapia, 115 and a quarter. 115 and a quarter. You all right? Estrada. Yeah, I'll go down to the corner.
Did you receive the tape in the mail?
Okay, Estrada.
Videotape?
I think I did. The wife just.
In a big yellow envelope?
This is Estrada. We got Estrada. It's 116 even. 116 even. Okay?
116.
Yeah, 116. 116. Carlos 16 to you. How's that?
Okay, Johnny Tapia, the babyface assassin, back in action. How are you feeling?
I feel good.
What do you know about your opponent tomorrow night?
I just know that he's a hard hitter, he's a slugger. I'm just going looking forward. I'm going to dedicate this fight to Albuquerque, and I got something to prove.
Okay, now it's going to be a 10-rounder, and you know, have you been sparring? You feel ready to go that distance if it goes that far?
I never predict a knockout, never predict nothing. I'm just ready to go and fight and do what I got to do, and that's what.
Okay, and your weight? Any problems there?
I just weighed 115 1/4, no problems at all.
So you came in looking sharp, huh?
Yeah.
How you been looking in sparring? How you been feeling?
I feel good. I'm just ready to fight, you know. Got a lot of anger in me, and I just want to go out and fight.
Well, you're still undefeated, John, and you know, how close would you say you are to some type of title shot?
Whatever Top Rank says, no, I do.
And do you have a message for your opponent?
I don't got no messages.
How about for the people of Albuquerque? What would you like to say here before your fight?
I'll just come out and see me fight and say a prayer before you go.
Okay, that's the babyface assassin, Johnny Tapia. Thanks for talking with us, John.
Thank you.
Well, we go into the dressing room with our main event featured fighter, Johnny Tapia, who we'll be seeing in a little while. Undefeated in 23 fights, second fight in the comeback route. Very excited about being back in the ring and very excited about being off of drugs. It's been clean for a few months now. And hopefully
he's a sweetheart of a guy too, Rich. And as you well know, most of these fighters are all great guys for the most part. And you know, you listen to Johnny, you look at him, you go, how the hell was this guy ever on drugs for 3.5 years? Like it was, because he seems like such a straight-laced guy. Let's hope he can get back and stay on the right track.
of our next card. And again, that May 20th for our next card. Coming up, our main event, 10 rounds in the junior bantamweight division, undefeated Johnny Tapia taking on tough Arturo Estrada. Stay with us. We'll be back with more on Prime. Welcome back to the Albuquerque Convention Center as we get ready now for our main event of the evening, and the crowd beginning to spot the local hero, who is Johnny Tapia from Albuquerque, New Mexico, getting ready to return to the ring here once again. His actual return after 38 months of enforced idleness due to a drug problem was just last month, March 27th, with a fourth-round KO of Jaime Olvera. There is Arturo Estrada, who will try to put Tapia into the defeat column for the first time in his career. But the crowd now comes alive as Johnny Tapia comes into the ring and immediately goes to his knees in a bit of prayer. As you can see, despite his well-documented drug problems, a man who was in and out of jail, disappeared for days at a time, Johnny Tapia says he is clean, has been clean for months, and is going to maintain that bit of soberness and sobriety in the future. We can only hope that is the case. 22-0-1. Reason he left boxing, of course, was he tested positive. He tested 3 times positive, in fact, for cocaine. He's addicted to drugs, alcohol problems as well. And Tapia ended up in rehab, in and out in rehab. And it's been a difficult 3.5 years, 3.5 years of hell, and he talks about his drug problems.
You know, I hit rock bottom more than once, but I finally hit the end, and I was in a dark tunnel, and I couldn't get out of it and couldn't see the light. And once I did, I started getting my memory back, and things started looking good for me. My manager, I told him that I still want to continue fighting. I called him from jail. I was in jail for a while, and I called him from jail, and I told him I wanted. He said he never wanted me to fight again. He'd rather me go to school and learn a trade, and I went through 12th grade, but I wasn't that good in school, and the only thing I know how to do is fight. And that's one thing I'm good at, and that's one thing I'm going to continue doing. And now that I've been getting urines at random, it's been keeping me clean. The hardest thing for me now is looking back and doing the things that I did. You know, knowing all the good people that I hurt, from my heart, I don't show them enough love. And that's really hard for me to show love, because I try to stay, how can I say it? I try to stay happy a lot, but there's a lot of hurt in me. And what hurts me the most is I don't give them enough appreciation, enough appreciation and enough courage to let them get too close to me without me wanting to fall down and give them my love, because it's hard for me to give love. And the good people that treated me so good, I stepped on them. I did everything I could. but they're still there in my corner, and I don't give them enough attention and enough love, and that's real bad about me. But there's a big blackout in my heart, knowing that I never want to fall down again.
After testing positive 3 times, he lost his license, out of the ring for 3.5 years. He has been granted a conditional license to box here in the state of New Mexico. He is subject to random drug testing. He's being tested every week. 1 positive test and he will receive a permanent suspension. But for now, as long as he stays clean, he can fight. All right, ready for the ring introductions? Let's go to our announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world on Prime, welcome as we present the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Prime Productions in association with Ring Pros Inc., the matchmaker Thomas Brown, and sponsored by the fabulous Foxwoods Resort and Casino, where you can experience the wonders of the Connecticut woods. This bout is sanctioned by the New Mexico State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Stan Gallup. Commissioners Leo Martinez, Jim Boggio, Juan Nunez, and Louis Burke. The administrator is Dave Stewart. The chief inspector, Max Abeka. Introducing to you the judges as appointed. At ringside we have Sandy Pino, Hugh Bishop, and Dan Cisneros. And the referee in charge of this featured bout, he will be giving instructions after the introductions, Larry Chavez. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening, a junior bantamweight special attraction scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the red corner, he is wearing black trunks with white and red trim, hailing from Tampico, Tamaulipas, Mexico. He weighed in at 116 pounds, and his record includes 18 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw, with 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Arturo Estrada. And his opponent across the ring, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing black trunks with turquoise trim and representing the great city of Albuquerque, New Mexico. He weighed in at 115.5 pounds. His record includes 22 wins, no losses, 1 draw, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is a former USBA Junior Bantamweight champion. Please welcome the man who tonight dedicates his efforts to Antonio Carrillo and all of his loyal fans of Albuquerque, introducing the baby face assassin, the undefeated Johnny Tapia. Once again, here's the referee in charge, Larry Chavez.
I think you guys are expressing your dressing room about what? You understand him too? Please. You have any questions? Good luck to both of you. That's about now.
Tonight's fight is being fought under here in New Mexico, a 10-point must system. There is a standing 8 count here. A 3 knockdown rule also is in effect, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell except at the final bell of the final round. Now to take a look at the tail of the tape, Joe.
Right. You got Tapia, the older guy here, same height, basically the same weight, separated by a ½ pound here. And the reach goes to Estrada here. But if you size him up, it looks like Tapia is the bigger guy here.
All right, so we're ready for round number 1, and here we go. Johnny Tapia, 22-0-1. Arturo Estrada, 17-9-1. Estrada with the red trim, Tapia with the blue trim, both in black trunks.
And as usual, Tapia doesn't waste much time. He stalled for about 5 seconds here, and he's one to start quickly. Tapia is a very active fighter, a very energetic fighter. Tapia's already landed a nice short little uppercut, kind of set the pace in there. And you can see that Estrada is, like I said, a little bit of a boxer. He's not a typical Mexican brawler where he comes in looking to take you out. Not that big of a puncher, and he likes to move and use the ring. An interesting statistic, though, Rich, as I'm looking down at Estrada's record here. He's 18-4 with 8 knockouts in Mexico. His 5 fights in the United States, he's 0 for 5.
And Tapia opening up now and throwing body shots and running after his opponent into the corner. Tapia, nice right hand, and Tapia opening up. He's coming out and looking very impressive before the hometown fans here in round number 1. Boy, he means business.
Beautiful right hand. He landed 2 in a row, and this might be 0 for 6 for Estrada because Tapia looks like a man on a mission. Don't mess with a guy when they're trying to come back and conquer something and overcome something because they're more determined than ever.
Tapia right on his man. Now Estrada trying to fire back, and to keep Tapia off a little bit, he's got to get some respect from Tapia, who's walking right in here in round number 1.
Well, that's nothing new. Johnny Tapia has always been a fighter that's got a couple different styles. And he can box you if he needs to, but I think this is what he likes to do. This is more natural. Come in and bang it out with him.
Fighting tonight at 115.5 pounds. His last fight, which was his return to the ring after the 38 months out, he fought at the lightest weight of his career, 112.5. So he is 3 pounds more in just a month.
You got to remember something, Rich. When oh, beautiful right hand again. He's just running Estrada from pillar to post here.
Well, Tapia really throws a nice body punch. Now Estrada trying to flurry, but Tapia picking off most of those punches with his gloves.
Tapia should keep that jab going, because when you got a man on the move like that and you start measuring him with right hands and bombs, put the jab out there as your measuring stick. Get that feel. So when you barely touch, boom, there's the right hand right after it. Boy, the lead right hands are working for Tapia right now. Maybe you can forget my advice about the jab, but I think it might end the night if he uses that jab. Really blind the guy and then set that big right hand in there.
Tapia doing a great job, having a big first round, and Estrada may not have been expecting this type of ferocity out of his opponent in round number 1. Into the final seconds of round number 1. A great round for Johnny Tapia and a rocky one for Estrada.
I'm Jim Boggio. I'm the New Mexico Athletic Commission. If you're interested in boxing, don't miss the 8-count boxing hour right here on Channel 27.
Rich, check out this hand speed of Johnny Tapia. Boom, little lead right hand. That's been finding a home all night. But see, he was leaning in with that. It takes a little of the power away. You step in with a jab first, get your momentum going, then drop that quick right hand, and boy, this lights out.
This is round 2. It's scheduled for 10. Johnny Tapia, black trunks with a blue trim. Arturo Estrada in the black trunks with a white and red trim. Second fight in the comeback trail for Tapia. They say they'd like him to have 4 or 5 fights against the journeyman this year and then really step back up into world-class competition once again. Well, when he went out, Joe, and when he was suspended from boxing, he was, they say, 1 win away from a world championship fight.
That's right. That's exactly right. He was on the same course as all the other guys that were hot prospects that came up in '88, like a couple of my fighters. Good right hand.
Strong right by Tapia.
Look at Estrada, though. He's known to be durable. He's known to be tough, to hang in there. He just doesn't quit, lay down for you. He's trying to pitch back in there with Tapia, and he's doing a decent job of it, but he's stepping back with his hands down, and he's going to pay the price for that eventually in this fight.
Estrada can fight some. Don't be misled. He's no stiff. He holds a win over Jorge Barrera, which came in the hometown of Barrera. But he's down for a right hand, and he may have trouble getting up. He is really hurt and struggling to get back to his feet, but a clean right hand by Tapia put him down. He's in deep trouble. Larry Chavez holding off the count.
He's hurt. That fight should be over, Rich.
He's asking him. He's allowing him to continue. Here comes Tapia. Left hooks to the body. Down goes Estrada. Tapia's already turning backflips.
That fight's got to be over here.
Fight is over. Chavez stops the fight. Johnny Tapia. What an impressive performance by Tapia.
Rich, it was a beautiful left hook, a half uppercut, half hook, and then he dropped the right hand right behind it, and really it was a delayed reaction as far as Estrada's legs were concerned. It took him a second, feel the effect. He went down. He was out for all intents and purposes the first time around.
It was that right hand. You know, Joe, I was just about to say I had mentioned the win over Jorge Barrera that Estrada had, but he had gone the distance with world champion Jose Luis Bueno,
who we just talked about, who's got an upcoming fight, which goes to tell you, Johnny Tapia, when he's right, is as good, if not better, than anybody else in that division out there.
Look at that crowd.
They love him here. Look, he's got a great personality. He plays to the fans. He's calling his wife in the ring here. Somebody stuck behind him through thick and thin.
Oh, yes. He gives his wife much credit. His wife, Teresa, will be coming into the ring. There's the backflip by Tapia. All right, there were 2 knockdowns in the bout. We'll take a look here at the first one, Joe, and this is a one-punch shot.
Well, here was the first one. It was a little left hand right here. I believe if this is the first knockdown, he touches him with the left and drops. There it is. Boom, right hand, right on the chops. But he set it up with that little left uppercut to start with. And here we go, the second knockdown. It was, the handwriting was on the wall here. He didn't even really have to hit Estrada hard to put him down. Estrada's legs were already weak, unsteady, and he was ripe for the taking.
Fight was over for all intents and purposes after that right hand landed that put Estrada down with one punch. All right, we will get the official particulars from Jimmy Lennon Jr. when we return. We'll also hear from the winner, Johnny Tapia, so stay with us. There's the victor. There's the victorious backflip. We'll be right back with more on Prime Championship Boxing.
Hello, I'm Juan Nunez. I'm with the Athletic Commission, the New Mexico Athletic Commission, and I watch the 8-count boxing hour on Channel 27.
And we're back at the Albuquerque Convention Center, which is frankly filled with fans who are going nuts right now over the victory of Johnny Tapia. There he is, Tapia, with the win tonight, running his record at 23-0-1. It did not take long as he got to his man Arturo Estrada in round number 2 for the knockout victory. So we're ready for the official announcement of the decision now and the knockout win from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 45 seconds in round number 2. The referee in charge, Larry Chavez, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, and still undefeated, the baby face assassin, Johnny Tapia.
All right, Johnny Tapia, the winner, 23-0-1, as referee Larry Chavez stops the bout in the second round after the second knockdown. And Johnny Tapia coming over to our Joe Goosen now. And we'll be hearing from the winner here in momentarily. And he's got the thumbs up, and there's Johnny with Joe, so let's go up to Joe now.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Johnny Tapia. All right, let's get everybody in here for Johnny so he doesn't get mad at us. John, let me ask you something now. You came back with a vengeance. This kid here just went 10 rounds a few fights ago with the world champ. Why was it so easy for you to put this kid out when he's gone the distance with other good fighters?
It was never easy, this fight. I've just been training hard. I'm well dedicated. I'm back. And I give a lot of thanks to the Lord and my manager, Paul, for really being there for me and my family. My brother's been coming out with us now, so I'm ready.
John, obviously the fans love you here. If you ever decide to have a world championship fight, it looks like you could have it right here. How much did the crowd play a part with how you performed tonight?
A lot. It was a lot of discipline that I had coming into the fight, but it's the crowd that really pumped me up, and I dedicated the fight to the crowd.
It seems like you played to the crowd pretty good, a lot of friends and family here. Do you want to show them that you can come through this whole problem that you had and do well and make it to where it seemed like you were destined to go a few years ago, and that was the world title? I'm
going back, and I hope to God, I give a lot of thanks to my manager, Paul. I'm ready to go. I thank really especially Top Rank and Don Cabrera for giving me the opportunity to give me a chance to come back in the commissioners here in Albuquerque.
Under what conditions is it at this point that what condition was it that they let you back to get your license here? Because I was under the impression that they had suspended you for life, but that wasn't the case, obviously.
No, that wasn't the case. It was just of me staying clean. Once I got clean, well, then it was over.
And it's definitely over now, Johnny. You're on the road back. You look tremendous tonight. And I truly believe, well, let me ask you this. How many more fights would you like to have before you make a move up in competition to somebody in the top 10?
Manager. I leave that up to my manager.
5 more fights, just depends, 4 or 5. We're in no hurry.
So you're going to take your time and work hard, and I think that's going to be the best thing for you to do, Johnny. Good luck on your road back to the World Championship. I believe you can do it. All right. All right, Paul.
All right, thank you very much, Joe, and congratulations to the winner, Johnny Tapia, second round KO victor tonight over Arturo Estrada. All right, Joe, I think now we must discuss Johnny Tapia, though, because he was our main event fighter tonight. We talked all night about the problems that he's had with drugs, which we all hope are behind him now, because he's a talented fighter. There's no question about it. He's a world-class fighter and could be headed for a world championship. What did you think of his performance tonight? Second round KO over Arturo Estrada.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that Estrada doesn't get knocked out a lot. By Tapia coming back and knocking him out so early and so powerfully, and you look at the tape here, it was that little uppercut right hand that first put Estrada on the seat. Boom, right there. You know, when you look that sharp, you know, how much more is there out there that's really going to stand in your way? Just a handful of guys that are as good as Johnny Tapia out there. Then what he's got to do is get in a good enough shape to beat those type of guys. He's going to beat these type of guys all day long. They're above average fighters. They aren't world-class guys, but they're guys that you need to fight to get better and to improve yourself.
Could he step up right now and fight the better fighters?
Look, he's just been off of his addiction for 3.5, 4 months now. He was on it for close to 4 years. You don't go ahead and put yourself into that type of situation right off the bat. You let him work his way back into it slowly, let him get comfortable with what he's doing now, and I think maybe in 7, 8, 9, 10 months, you know, have 4 or 5 what you call mediocre fights, and I think then he'd be ready.
We hope you've enjoyed this evening of boxing.